Hello, friends, and I feel like we could do with a little energizing pick me up. But then I was thinking I was going to play some music, I was going to do something because Lord knows this week has been trying. Oh my goodness. Firstly, for everyone who is sat here listening to the news, scrolling through stuff on social media, reading articles about this pushback, and I'm going to call it a pushback because I'm going to collectively group stuff together. Whether it's about Breonna Taylor, whether it's about Donald Trump and his, mandate to not only shut down any critical race conversations, right? So anything that explores the link between race, law, and power, right? But also to extend that to institutions, departments that are connected with the White House. You are definitely left thinking that we are still getting back to the point where fundamentally our lives don't matter enough. Because if we're still in the space where CEOs of large financial institutions can turn around and say, yes, we stand in solidarity with the black community, but the reason why we don't have black people in senior leadership positions is because basically there is no talent to be found. That we're still in the space of organisations, and yes, there are some, believe it or not, who have yet to do anything because now they're paralysed, right? Because they're thinking, shit, we should have done something. When everybody else was posting the black square, we should have done the black square, but we didn't. So we left it a little bit. Then when people were starting to do their statements, we decided not to do a statement. So we just thought we'll just interact with a few people on LinkedIn and show that we're standing in solidarity and support and, giving it all of that, but we still haven't done anything. Then it was the summer holiday, so August was a bit shit. But September is back to work. There should be a focus on different things, and now they're shit. The focus hasn't changed. So now, if whatever we do now, it's going to look like we're doing it because we have to, and we're late to the party, and. So what I want to say is, start from where you stand. Because listen, you have to absorb in your conscience why it's taken you this long to even get to this point when you realise you've got to do something. That's on you. And in the nicest way possible. I've got no interest in that. What I am interested in is that you do something. Do you know what I mean? You take a long, hard look at your team. You take a long, hard look at the visual makeup of your organisation. And then you ask yourself a real question that says, with the knowledge that I now have, whether you want to embrace that knowledge or not, am I doing enough to make progressive change and eradicate systemic racism? Or by me not doing anything, am I content with the fact I am perpetuating the very systems that are oppressing black people? Because let me be clear. Clearly not everybody has the appetite, the will, the capability, the freedom to be able to speak truth to their power, right? And talk about their lived experiences to the extent which other people are able to do. But that doesn't change the fact that within your organisation, to some extent, you can still do something, even if you haven't consciously decided to amplify the voices of the black colleagues within your business. And then if you've got no black colleagues in your business and you're thinking, well, there was loads of stuff we would do, but as we've got no black people, we don't need to do anything, I would say you're still part of the problem. Because to assume that this is only a problem for if you've got black people in your business is incorrect. Because this is a societal issue. It just manifests itself within the workplace, I've always said that. So if you're sitting here worried about the fact that it's taking you so long as a business, as a department, as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as a founder of the business to do something meaningful, and I don't mean just repost a few posts and, have a conversation with your neighbour about all this black stuff. I mean things that are going to make the difference. And you're thinking, does the fact that we've done nothing make us look bad? So how long can we keep not doing anything? Because then we can just hope that the rest of the world kind of goes back to normal. Well, the rest of the world is not going back to normal, point one. There is no normal. We know that. Coronavirus has taught us that. That there is no justice for black people right now. A woman can be minding her own business, watching television, and be shot, and nobody does anything. Not really. And then we have people in senior leadership positions who are still claiming they're colourblind, who still claim that there aren't enough black people with the right qualifications and capabilities and skill sets to be able to do senior positions. So this is why their business looks the way it does. Now, in some instances, some of those decisions have been like subconsciously deliberate. And other times it's like you just don't challenge it really, because you know what? Why challenge what's worked for you and what works for people who look like you? But we have to move out of apathy. We have to move out of worrying about how it looks to other people, what we do or don't do. Worrying about the message it sends, to be seen to be really committed to this. And also worried about what the majority of our white workforce are going to think. Because listen, there's still some leaders who are afraid of that as a justification for why they're not doing anything. Now, it's not all doom and gloom, let me just be clear, because, you know, I do hear examples and I am shown examples of organisations who are like desperately trying to do the right thing, and, you know, they're approaching it in the right way. They are clear that they are looking at systemic racism, structural racism, and building anti-racist cultures. What they are not doing is shining off their diversity and inclusion practices. They're making a distinction. You know, I know these examples. I talk to businesses who are doing that, and I do. You know, I don't give gold stars, right? No gold stars yet. However, I do feel that like a little bit like, oh God, it's not all bad news, thank God. Like I don't tell them that, but I do. I come off my video calls and I just think, okay, that's one more organisation who've got the memo. Do you know what I mean? It's not about the fact that they fix anything. To be honest, it's the fact that they're like, well, we're trying this and we're trying that, and I'm like, perfect, carry on. Do you know what I mean? Like, you got the memo, you know? But I would hope for anybody who sees this little clip of my video, I don't know which clip that Ryan James is going to clip, because like I leave it to him to decide. He decides. You talk for too long, Shereen. But I hope that in just listening to this and watching to this might just jolt you out of apathy and being passive and thinking that all the things that are happening don't affect you, and you know, thank God it doesn't affect you, that you can just go home and shut the door and this is not a thing for you. But it's getting to a point now where there's so many examples of individuals who are holding on to their ignorance, who are holding on to their prejudice, who are happy to racially discriminate against us and other marginalised groups, and will fight tooth and nail to hold on to the status quo and things remaining the way they are. That in itself should tell you that there is a big problem. So that's like my public service announcement for the day. But, you know, I just felt like it was needed because I think I recorded one video, but I literally looked like I was about to fall asleep. Not because I was tired, but you know when you just think to yourself, like, I can't. However, got to roll up your sleeves. New dawn, new day. We just keep pressing forward. That's all we can do. But please, for anybody who's feeling remotely discouraged and thinking, is it all worth it? I promise you it is. Like, so please do not allow all of the bullshit that has just played out over the last few days to derail you from what it is that you're trying to do, and for the difference that you're trying to make, and the conversations you are deliberately instigating, even though you know it's going to be uncomfortable, and for the budget you're committing, and for the emails that you're sending, the phone calls that you're making to try and get people to do something. Please do not be discouraged. Because I know, listen, I get it. I get it. But we need as many of us as possible to keep pushing for this. So thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.